Salam alaikum, brother.
Oh, what was he doing? That's called chameleon carriers, bro. A lot of y'all don't know what chameleon carriers is. It's basic people or trucking companies running with 2, 3, 4, 5 different MC numbers. When shit get hot on one MC number, they just flip it. I really feel like this is the reason why we have high insurance costs. Because what happens is, say you got a MC or a DOT number, you get in an accident or you get too many safety points, you just swap over to another one. This is what's wrong with the industry. This is what messes up the industry. Is this? This is huge, and I hate to say, a lot of foreign companies do this. They have about 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if you talk about the guy that did the Ontario crash, that company switched over to a whole new DOT like the day of. Usually they buy these DOTs. You can go to black market and buy these DOT numbers that already got experience, or they just have it just sitting there just cooking. But this is why when we get into regulations and we talk about stuff like this, I'm hoping that Secretary Sean Duffy looks into this. Is the process to get DOT numbers? It needs to be a longer process. It needs to be a background check. It needs to be a fingerprint check. It needs to be more serious. It's easy to get a DOT number. You can go in there, pay $300, 21 days, insurance, you locked in, you good. So I really feel like the process, it needs to be fingerprinted. Whoever's getting a DOT needs to get a fingerprint test. It needs to be federal. We need to make this a federal thing, because now if you have this and you're doing fraud, you're getting federal jail time. We have to start putting people in jail for having multiple DOTs. I feel like you shouldn't have multiple DOTs. You should only have one, and it should be linked up to the person that's owning the business. But this is why when we look at it and we see stuff like this, all truckers seen this. You see guys at the truck stops changing their DOT numbers. They got different numbers every time something happens. The block is hot for that DOT number. They switch it to another one. This is why we have high insurance costs. This is exactly how we have high insurance costs. So typically, how chameleon carriers operate, they get flagged or shut down by FMCSA for bad safety scores or violations. They quickly form a new LLC and a new DOT number. They move their trucks under the new entity, keep the same management, drivers, and equipment. Sometimes use straw owners, family, fake names to hide identity. Continue operating like nothing happens. Yeah, but they don't. They already have these in their back pocket just in case, or you can buy them. But this is a huge problem in our industry, man. Like, so much fraud in this industry, so many things that need to be stopped. But this is how a lot of, especially these foreign companies, this is how they win in trucking. They become chameleon carriers. They be able to switch when shit gets hot on their DOT. And that's just basically what it is. So chameleon carriers are a big problem in trucking. Is because they often have unsafe equipment, unqualified, poorly trained drivers, poor maintenance, history of crashes, no insurance or fraudulent insurance filings. They cheat the system by dodging safety audits, CSA compliance, insurance responsibilities, fines, and penalties, out of service orders. They cheating the system. Like, what do we do to stop chameleon carriers? You can make the process longer to get a DOT, not just overnight, 21 days, make it 6 months. We can shut down the selling of DOT numbers. We can make it a federal a thing where a person, whoever is going to get the DOT number, has to actually go to a federal office and do federal fingerprints. It has to be more, maybe an interview. It has to be more going on to make this safer. Because if we don't, then we're just gonna keep having this. But this has been happening for a long time. Everybody know this in trucking. Everybody done seen the guy at the truck stop swapping numbers. Everybody done seen that. This is nothing new. And I hate to say it's done by a lot of foreign companies. A lot of foreign companies do this. What this does, the impact that the chameleon carriers have on trucking is, like, obviously you're gonna have more accidents, unsafe roads. It says chameleon carriers are 3 times more likely to be involved in severe crashes than legit carriers. They put the public and good drivers at risk. Yeah, because they running away from their old safety score and they got a new one and they gonna mess that one up and they get another one, and get another one, and get another one. So we know that they can just hop like that. Don't you think we should probably change that? I think that's gonna be another thing Sean Duffy looks at, is the process. It's all about the process. The reason why we got bad drivers is because we got bad CDL schools. The reason why we got people that get the licenses is because they cheat the system. The reason why we have bad trucking companies is because they do chameleon carriers, and it's easily viable to get another DOT number within days, or have multiple at the same time. We just need to make the process harder. We need to make the process, like I said, what if somebody had to go in there and get fingerprinted and show that they in charge and have these prerequisites to actually do these things. I just feel like trucking needs to have a slower model. It needs to be slower. Not everybody can just jump in and have it. Because what's happening is you got a lot of people from overseas getting DOT numbers and they don't even live in the United States. That happens. That happens. Like you got people overseas right now that have DOT numbers. Don't you think that is right? Don't you think maybe we should have people that own U.S. trucking companies be American? Don't you think that should be something that they come in person and do at a federal building? Like, let's make this process harder. Everybody says about tech. We got tech to make things easier. Yeah, that's cool. I understand tech, using AI for some things is cool. I definitely understand it. But if you are in this industry, I believe it needs to be slower. I believe the process needs to be slower because we are making it safer and we're going to actually have the right people in trucking. It's going to deter a lot of people if you say you got to have an in-person fingerprint to be able to have a trucking company or own a trucking company. Not just writing somebody's name, but like an actual fingerprint, an actual documentation on file that you are a U.S. citizen, a birth certificate, all these real things, and you can't own another one. Like once you have all those real things, I think that slows it up. So if you get in an accident and you kill people on the road, you can't just switch it up. No, that's going to follow you and your company. You got to deal with that. You got to deal with that high insurance cost. See what I'm saying? That's one of the things that it messes up. Another like we talked about, it's bad. It's a bad reputation for the industry. It makes truckers look bad, makes us look unorganized, and makes us look like we just don't know what the hell we are doing. Right? Like I said, higher insurance costs. The reason why insurance is high, people are like, man, we got to check the insurance. Well, you check the insurance by having better processes, by having it harder for TDO truckers to get their license, to make it harder for people to get a trucking company. Only way the insurance goes down is when there's better processes and procedures in place to make sure that the right people are getting into trucking. We need less trucking companies. We need less people get into the industry that don't know what the hell they want to do, and they just in it to make quick cash. How do you deter that? Education, longer processing times, things taking a little bit longer to get right. CDL schools getting better. Like I said, I feel like everything should just be monitored by the federal government. No state should have any say so in the federal government, way of doing CDL schools, starting DOT numbers, trucking companies. I feel like the federal government should be 100% in charge of that. 100%. They should really make that tough. I really feel that way. But that's the reason why we have high insurance. People complain about insurance. Why is my insurance so high? It's because all these crashes and you got people then start another company. So they can't even pay for the high insurance. So what insurance companies do, they just spread it across. So now your insurance is going to go up no matter what. Because we got chameleon carriers. We got bad drivers. We got bad CDL schools. All the foundation of everything in trucking is bad. Everything's bad. So what do we do? We make it better. How do we make it better? We have better processes. We have better CDL schools. We have better training. We have better education. We have longer times to get into the industry. Make it harder. It's too hard. What this does, a lot of these foreign companies do this, so it hurts American companies. Small American companies get affected the most. We can't afford to have multiple DOT numbers and insurance, but these foreign companies can. They put their money together and they got multiple DOT. They got the insurance connect. They got everything connected, and they just hold on to it and pay for both. So why not just do this and make it harder for people to get in? This is one of those things we don't need to have a faster process. We need to have a slower process. But this is how the chameleon carriers affect trucking. It's huge. Everybody knows about this. Ask your trucker, what you think about this. Have you seen this? They'll say, hell yeah, I see it every day. Because it happens every day. But typically, it's by foreign truck drivers. So you can leave. I'm going to leave with you. I'm going to leave you with that.